Happy hump day. That's what it is, isn't it? It's Wednesday. Wednesday. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, traders. This is Doc from North America. Another fun-filled day. Let's see. What do we have going on here? Let's check it out. Where are we at? We're looking at platinum. Okay. Let's head over to the Aussie. Not the Aussie. Well, we do the Aussie too. But let's head over to Euro to start off with, unless someone wants to see something. And then if so, then what we will do is we will go right to that instead. I have no problem shifting my gears. It's the way it works in trading. One moment you're thinking you're doing this, and the next minute you know you're doing that. Hey, Janos, could be because of a delay in the stream. Let's see, Doc, you should try starting a minute or two earlier than you as accustomed to people are waiting. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I will try doing that. And so let's see, what do we got going on here? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. And that is, what is that? That is Bitcoin. Let's go to the euro. There's the euro there. You can see it's just been marching up, and away in its beautiful, beautiful balloon. Let's see. Abha. Kadar. I like Kadar is easier for me to say. Volume up, please try. Oh, where's the volume? How about now? Is that any better? Testing like a 1, 2, and a 3. Sounds like Lawrence Welk. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. He was from Wisconsin. So let's see. Any better than that? Is that better? Worse? In between? Let's see. Volume is low. Let's see. Let me see what I got going on there too. Sounds tinty. Yeah, I hear that too. I hear that. I think that's the internet around here, because I am like right up onto the microphone. I mean, I am smack dab on the microphone. Is that better? I'm pushing all the little buttons on this device. Yeah, I got it all the way up. So, how about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, there we go. We're going to keep on pushing on that. We'll keep an idea. We'll keep a hand on this, though. We won't allow it. Oh, excellent. 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 Andre, excellent. Thank you. All right, now, where are we? Oh, yeah, that's where we are. We're looking at the euro this morning. Let's see what she's doing. And the euro is still strong. You know, we can see. Let's check it out in J4X here. But I can hear it too. I got tinty, which is. Oh no! Wait a minute. No, that's a microphone. I just realized. There we go. But I can hear it too. Okay, there it is. I got tinty. Nah. What it was is I had a headphone set connected to the speaker there. No wonder it sounded tinny at maximum. Okay. Anyway, there it is. It could be the internet. The internet's been wonko of late. So, matter of fact, what was really weird is one of the bigger houses on the continent, Toronto Dominion, they call it Thinkorswim. They were knocked out Monday and parts of Tuesday. So things have been a little wonko. There's no doubt about that. All right, let's take a look at Euro on J4X. There it is. Euro on the wall. Right there. Lots of little green things going on, just like on ours. You see that there? Lots of green things going on there. And there it is right there. Same thing. Green things going on right there. You see the white line through here. And you can see we've been in a daily buy here. What's that? Going on a... Is this the 5th day or 6th day? Looks like the 5th day. So it's 4 days in a buy. Where's that at? Yeah, 4 days in a buy right there. We're 13 weeks in a buy too. So there's a lot of strength coming in on that product. A lot. Worked in. Let's see. What am I missing here? Fine. Okay, Doc. You're from Southern New Jersey, cattle country. We're from the Pinelands, Jersey Devil, you know, all that stuff. We're from South Jersey, where there's more cows than people. Not as much as it used to be. We have the oldest rodeo in America. We're cattle country. And the story is as long as hell. Worked in Chicago and commodities and moved to work. And no, yeah, I worked. I went New York, Chicago, back to New York, and Philadelphia, back around. Yeah, pretty much all the exchanges. Stick to the pairs. I'll let you interpret. I'll do the pairs. Keep on rolling, Janos. Keep on rolling. Oh, I like that video with the boat guys. That was funny. Let's see. Where are we at here? So yeah, you can see the euro's acting pretty strong in here. You see the same thing on our work. It's been holding up very firm, looking very good. Let's see. What else do we got going on here? I guess that's about it. We can slip over to the cable unless someone wants to see something in particular. Let's see. Let's see what Mr. and Mrs. Cable look like today. And there it is right there. Cable's doing the same thing. We're seeing some firmness. We're in the 32s now. You see it's jumped through this area. And you can see we've been lots of green also here. And what are we doing here? Let's move that down just a little bit. Maybe I can not have to jump off this mouse. That's it. We'll go like that. And then we'll go and put the cable up there like that. And you can see there's cable has pushed up. Same situation, only 3 days in the daily buy. Some green dots there matching up to what we have on the J4X of the greens there at the same time. And you can see the white line has pierced this intersection very nicely, which matches up to us going through our zero line there. So this is very fascinating. You can see our time manifold is telling us that there's lots of strength in here. It refuses to even challenge the goldish or yellowish time manifolds there. So it just says that there's just a lot more buyers than sellers. That's what our math usually does too. It tells us when there's a lot of buyers versus a lot of sellers. It tells us when the price appreciation is going up, but there's not a lot of conviction. It'll show us that. We can show you that on copper. I found that very fascinating. Check out copper. I've been watching it for days now. Let's see if we can find it here. Where is it at? Right there. So there's copper. And we're just finally yesterday getting over the buy number just from last night, I guess you could say, going into the day. But we've been in a daily sell from here, and you can see the product, went into a daily sell there, went down, but then it turned. It told you not to be short anymore here, okay? And now it's gone from 290. Is that what it is? 286, basically 285.90, 286, and it's climbed all the way up to what the hell's that? 301.75. And so it kept you out of the short here. Now it's cranking itself up, and if it closes in a weekly buy, and we can, especially if we get into a daily sell and then back into a daily buy with a weekly buy going, it's usually a really good buy. It's an 8.5 out of 10 times success rate. So there's a perfect example of, it's been going up for days, and we're not really able to participate, but at least we're not short. And that's what our mathematics does is it shows you when to be long, when to be short, when to be neutral, and that's pretty much, sometimes you just need to stand to the side. Markets are the markets. They will do what they want to do, and we can't tell them what to do. As much as we want it to go up when we're long, we want it to go down when we're short. It'll do what it wants to do, and we got to follow them, not us tell it. That's the way I always like to look at it. So I thought that was a good example there, copper, showing us for days here that it wants to go up, but we're still not in that weekly buy. Now today, we have slipped over the weekly buy number, which is really cool, and we got 2 more days to go also. It needs to confirm on Friday, but it does tell us that there's a strength there, and it's giving us a very clear warning / signal, and that's what my math does. The Chicago Quant is that is what it is. It's a great indicator of buying versus selling, and who's greater than, if there's more buyers than sellers, and vice versa. And that is where we go. All right, let's go over to, we go to there, to Turkish Lira. But anybody wants to see something, just put it on the chat line. You don't have to talk to me. It's all right. Just throw something up there and we'll just take a look. Doc will go through his repetition of trying to dissect anything you suggest. And what we're going to do now is we'll go over to Turkish Lira, which is one of our favorites to watch because it's been in a weekly buy for 37 weeks. It's awful hard to turn our heads away from that, that's for sure. Let's see if we can figure out where it's at. So there it is. Not that. Yeah, there we are. And go to window. And there is Turkish Lira. And you can see here in a daily buy for 3 days, but we've been in a weekly buy, and it tried to go into the sell, but you can see the black line is still above the zero line there. And you go over to our fact check spreadsheet right there. See, fact check spreadsheet, which follows our math, or collects history of our math, I guess you could say. And you can see here line 17. The product's been in a weekly buy now. Whoa, what happened there? Let's try that one more time. Right there, 37 weeks. And we are, I guess we're really, are we 5 days in a buy? I think we went into a sell here that disrupted that buy from here. So it's really just 2 days in a buy. We got to fix that. And see, there's rules. It's very simple rules. When the white line here, let's amplify that a little bit. And then we'll explain to you what we're looking at on the J4X at the same time. And so what we do is we watch the white line here, just like we watch the white line on J4X. This emulates my math on the J4X by about 75% accuracy, which is really good. And so it goes through these two lines, the purple and the dotted. Now what the dotted represents is the zero line here. What the purple represents is our time manifold. These two mirror imaged goldish, yellowish, however you want to describe them ish, lines. We call them the nonlinear timelines. Oop, right there. And we use the purple one to do that, to represent that. Now in this case here, it's broken through it. And so you can see here the product is going up in value. Actually, I guess it should be a buy. See, what happened was we had a red dot. So I guess we could put it back one day like that. So what happens is when we have a red dot, we wait for a couple hours to see if the next bar going into the evening trading hours here in the States is positive. And if it's keeping with, with the white line above the zero line and the histogram above the zero line, then we mark it as a buy signal. And that's how we use that. But you can see when we're above the zero line, products have a natural tendency to go up, especially with the little green dots going on there at the same time. And I guess if we widen this, can we widen that? Let's widen that. You can see there, because this is so wild and volatile right there, it has shrunk this down. See where it's strength there. So that's what we do. And we like to follow the Turkish Lira because it's been fascinating. 37 weeks in a weekly buy is awful hard to turn your head away from, that's for sure. Comprende? Is that pretty cool or what? All right, now let's, where are we heading from here? And if anybody wants to see anything, just give a yell. Let's just see it on J4X real quick, too, before I jump. Right there. You can see here the white line is through both the purple and the dotted, and it's been moving up there. Even with all that red there, our green dots have been pretty predominant. That's why it's 75%. But if you don't have Doc's work, then it's at least you can use J4X to keep you honest, or at least relatively safe. Then just tune in on the mornings, and you can always see where your product is that you're fascinated by or trading of, and you can see Doc's work, and then you can look at J4X at the same time. All right, you can sign up at Dukascopy and get J4X with no problem. Now, what are we doing from here? Let's go over to Canadian. That's where we go, as we go Canadian. And you can see the pressure's on there. It's been in a sell from this point right there. Let's check her out on the old J4X right there. That slow, steady burn on the downside. Hey, Farkash, how you doing this morning or this afternoon? Hello to you too. So we're just rolling along, slow, steady, and normal. No internet interruptions since Monday. A little slow action. That's about it with the internet. But life is okay. All right, now let's see what else we can say here. Canadian. What else can we say about Canadian? A lot of pressure going on, that's for sure. I don't know what's going on up there. We'll see the news, and the news will tell us. But our math is always ahead of the curve. We've been in the daily sell from up in here. We've been in a weekly sell since up in here. So it's no surprise that it has that downwardly projection. Now what's curious there is, look at that. This thing is trying to turn up and they're burying the white line. That's really interesting, really. And just like our white line is heading down and been underneath the zero line, this has been the same way. And that's like our artificial zero line here. The 3D zero line. All right. Let's head over to the Swissaroo. Swissola. Let's see. Swissinski. There it is there, showing a little firmness there this morning. Yes. A little firmness there. Nothing nothing real like exciting, but just a little firmness. I like that. Let's see, what else can we say about this? Lots of red there, just like here. We're getting a red and green, which is usually a sign of volatility to come. See how it does that, and then the next thing you know, it has that. As you can see here, it did that a couple of days later. It ran up a little bit there with some action. Let's see, last time it did it there, you can see it popped up. So we'll see if this is some type of bottom. You can see this is trying to turn through that. Needs to break that. And then we go and look on ours. You can see it's still trapped underneath. Let's see, what can we do here? We'll go like this. So you can see that. It's trapped underneath. Yep, not that way, this way. We should make the black bars thickerish. There we go. That looks better. And you see it's just holding down. It did get through the time manifold right there. And but you can see the weekly. Look at this white line with the weekly. Let's make that white line thickerish also. One more time. Right there. You see the white line is well under the time manifold right up there. That's the time manifold, those golden things. Those golden arches. Let's see, what we do is go like this. Make it just a little bit thickerish. Yeah, see, it's been hanging underneath there since we went into the weekly sell. Let's see, where's it at? Like that. Wow, where's the weekly sell? There it is. So since up here, we've been in the weekly sell. And that is line 21 right there. Now it's going on 12 weeks in a weekly sell. So we document it, which is really cool. How many market technicians, market newsletter people will document their work live every day? Let's see. Andre says, I'm new here. Where can I find the instrument that Doc is using? Right here at Dukascopy. You just have to tune into the webinar every day. It's my Chicago Quant Technologies indicator, developed in 1977, 1978. It may be still sitting on the mainframe at Hatfield in Hertfordshire, England. And let me think, what else is there? We've been using it in the markets since the early 80s. And that's where we roll. That's where we roll. And we do this live every day. We do this webinar, and on my Chicago Quant Technologies website, I'll do one once in a while live. And we have a channel. So But mainly I'd say 90% of the talking I do live is here at Dukascopy. So, so the bulk of it is here every morning. And let's see what else we got going on here. So let's see. We were looking at Swissy. So Swissy is, fighting, I guess you can say. Now here, if you need a substitute, which you should have a substitute, you can sign up at Dukascopy, and then you can emulate this. We can show you the products there, like the fast-moving stochastic and the slow-moving stochastic, and the standard deviation bandwidth thing, and that helps out. That will give you some fighting chance. Also, the Hinky Ashy bars also help out. It matches our red dots, like I said, about 75% of the time, so that's pretty cool. You can see we're already heading into a green, but here it's red, but it'll catch up. But guess what? If you didn't have that and you didn't have my work, it's an uglier world to try to trade in. That's the whole idea. Is trading is like an athlete. You must practice, you must train, you must practice, you must train over and over again to keep the good habits, get rid of the bad habits, stay in shape. And so it's very important to constantly do your training and working on indicators every day. 10, 15 minutes here, 10, 15 minutes there. Especially early before the market, you do a good 10, 15 minute look to see what happened with the products you traded the day before. Look at your indicators, see if they match up. Did the right things, vice versa, after the market closes if you're not exhausted. Take a look at it again somewhere in the evening, another 10 or 15 minutes of practice. And you can always slowly drift into modifying things and so forth that way. But you got to train. If you don't train, you can't really play. You can't really trade. It just has to be. All right, now let's go over to, unless you want to see something, Andre, what we do is we constantly ask people, would they like to see something, and you just fire out a product, and I'll put it up there and show you our work, show you J4X's work, and go from there. You don't have to ask any questions, just throw it out there. Choose a product, any product. Spin the wheel. Step right up. Hey-ya, step right up. One shot wins. One in wins. It's awesome. That's right. Doc, when he was in college, he worked on a boardwalk down there in southern New Jersey, in Wildwood, New Jersey. That's right. I was a hawker on the boardwalk. All right, we had those basketball things going. All right, if no one's asking for anything, I will go on my rhythm as normal. And there is Yensky. The dollar against the yen. You can see a little pressure there, like so. And then you can see here, it's been in a weekly sell now since all the way back in here. Let's throw her up on J4X too at the same time. Oh, we have it up on J4X. So that is the Swissy. That is the wrong product there. And right there is the right product to match up with the two. And you can see, just like J4X, the product has been in a sell on a weekly basis since back in here. And you can see it's kind of danced around. It went down, and it went up, and went down, and went up, but wouldn't get into a buy. It kept on fighting to get into the buy, and then sooner or later it rolled over. And then it bottomed out. We went into a daily buy, but not a weekly buy. So then you just have to make sure you're not short, that's all. And you can see it tries to fight its way up. And again, we are not in a weekly buy. And what's the product doing? Rolling over again. And so, okay, there we go. Gold. Gold. Hey, MHB, what's happening? Welcome to the hood. Welcome home. Let's look at gold. Gold's a fun one. There it is right there on J4X. See, it's trading in the 1991 area. A little firmness nicely here, right there. You see that? And let's dance our way over to Chicago Quant, like so. And we'll go find it like so. There it is right there. December gold. And you can see it's keeping like an $8 carry trade, which makes sense. This is the futures contract. This is the arbitrage that they do. They buy the spot and then they sell the futures. Okay, and then the difference between them is the cost of moving the gold to New York. And so you can see here we've been in a daily buy for a couple days. You see it's been climbing up. As we also can see, I can see, you can see, we all can see. We're playing with a volatility dot, just like when we had two of them right here before it made its nice little launch up. We're getting a volatility dot here today. And you can see it's been in a weekly buy. How long has it been in a weekly buy? Well, let's show it to you first. It's been a while. Since April, we've been in a weekly buy. That is line 6 right there. 2 days in a buy, 9 weeks in a buy. 9 weeks in a buy? Oh, I know what happened. We were following, what was it? We were following August gold. August gold in the middle of this here in the December gold where it drifted down. In August gold, it actually went minus and went into a weekly sell for a week and went back into a weekly buy. But here on the deck contract, now that we're watching the deck contract, it's actually been in a buy for a long while there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 19 weeks. I guess we can put that on there now. 19 weeks. I haven't changed that. I'm not sure why. But anyway, 19 weeks. This is the 20th week now. If it closes above the black histogram here, if our black histogram, let's make that brighter. Let's make it a little bit more brighter. And the white line stays above this 0 line right there. It's in a weekly buy again for next week. And then what we will do is we will take that number and we'll put a 20 in there next week when you're looking at it. And that's how our work rolls. And so now going down to J4X, you can see we don't do a weekly on here. We could take a look at it and see what a weekly looks like. See how this goes. This will be interesting because it's spot. Looks like it was in a weekly buy back here too. So what is that? Like 10 weeks, 9 weeks, like that August thing. It caught that August thing, like August contract thing, where it went into a sell for a little bit, just 1 week, and it came back up again. And so you can see here, the product staying strong. We went into a buy here. We did 15 days, and then I think we did another 15 days here or something like that. In between here and there, and then another one here for another good explosion there, and then we caught, went into the sell up in here and broke down, and then matter of fact there was a trader that comes onto Dukascopy, and he contacted me like I think it was like 10:30 or 10:30 Eastern Standard Time at night. I had fallen asleep in my office on the chair just doing research, and he texted me out of nowhere and said, "Doc, I'm short from your day sell. What do I do?" And I said, "Okay, cover half." The first thing I thought was cover half because I had no idea what was going on in gold. I had fallen asleep in my chair, and so then I go and tune into gold, and I see it's trading at like I guess what did it do? It traded down to 18 and change. Yeah, was it 18? Let me put my glasses on. So then this is like last week for this sell-off. So then, no, 19 and change. Okay, so right there. So it went down to, I guess, I could have sworn it went down into the 18s. But anyway, so then it traded down to like 76 or 75. Now here this is showing it to be, maybe it was the August contract still. Might have been the August contract still. And so it went down to 1877. And he was like, I covered half. I said, that's great. I says, I said, now it dropped like another $25. I said, cover another half. And so he covered another half. And he says, I've never had a win like this in my lifetime. I said, well, that's cool. And then he said, what should I do? I think it could go to 18, like 35 or something like that. And I said, I'd put a stop in. Wouldn't let it get past 1890. Don't let it run. Keep the money. And then he did. He covered it. And then he sent me a text of his trading account. He'd made $16,900. And I said, well, and he's like, maybe I should trade it now. I said, no, go to bed. Do something else. Go play golf. Anything else but give that money back. Don't give that money back. And sure enough, the gold ran back up $100. And so you got to be careful. Cotton. I wish I could do cotton. I don't have the ice feed for cotton. But we can probably go find an ETF. If you want to see an ETF on cotton, we can do that. Would you like to see a ETF MHB on that? We'll go hunt down an ETF on that. I know there's an ETF to it too. Let's see. Let me just go find a cotton ETF and we'll go hunt it down. Cotton ETF. Let's see. Cotton. Let's see. Top cotton ETFs database. Let's see what that says. iPath. ETN. Oh no. BAL for like bale. Bale of cotton. Okay. Now let's go over to somewhere. Let's go over to somewhere. Open Sesame. Let's go find a place to put it. Let's see. Stock combo right there. BAL. Could be interesting. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's try where Boeing was. Let's get rid of Boeing. Remove. Let's put BAL in there. It's very close, isn't it? BAL. Instrument. And an L. Okay, we got to add it. Stock. BAL. See, traders, I'm willing to hunt down anything. BAL Smart. ARC. Okay, close. And there. Okay. There we are. See? Dailies really feed easy to... let's try that again. BAL. Someone's beeping me. What's that? Today is... I missed that. Okay. Alright, so there... What is today? Someone texted me something. Recent. Let me just see who texted me. Today is a webinar, yes. Okay, that's right. We're doing a Chicago Quant webinar at noon? I think it's at noon today. Go to the Chicago Quant channel if you want to hear me again. I think you'll be exhausted from today, but you're welcome to tune in. It's free. Let's see. Or is it 1 o'clock? I don't know. It's around there somewhere. Someone will text me again, I'm sure. Let's see. So here is cotton. And let's see. It's been so went into a cell here. And we found a way to go up in that cell. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way. So that's fine there. That went into a cell there on that one and caught that whole cell off there. That's cool. And the buy was right there. That caught the rally. But we're in a weekly sell. Now it's fighting to try to get back into it. Look at that. It's trying to climb up. And we've been in a weekly buy since here. Yeah, so we were in a weekly buy there. We were in a daily buy there. And then the sell didn't kick out until there. So you catch this move. That's cool. And then we get a little sloppy in here, right? There's a buy. And then a sell for that slide off there. But we're not into the sell. I guess we're really close to the sell at that point, right? Right. Yeah. I think that's the way it goes. And then, what is this? Let's move this over to there because we know that's the sell. That's a buy there. That's cool. That pushes it into a... No. And what do you do there? Go like that. That pushes into a sell there. And then let's grab that buy and put it there. No, it can't do a buy there. So we can move that over because it doubled the red and green dot. So we can't do that until the next day. And it obviously is falling down, so it doesn't do that. So that guy can be moved also over to there. So where did we go into the sell then? I guess right here. All right, so let's grab that and move that back. So we went into the sell right there. And we couldn't go into a buy there. So it's been in the sell for that sideways action. Oh no, there we go. So then it went into a buy there. It's still for sideways action. And then we went into a sell. We couldn't go into a sell there. Okay, because it's a green dot. So we kind of, then it jumps back into the buy, so that gets moved out of the way. That's what it is. So it stays into the buy all the way until here. Okay, so this buy is here, goes into a weekly buy here, and you can ride that puppy. So there we go. There's cotton. And you can see, let's move this over to here. Did that get, that went into the sell there. And let's see, let's move this over a little bit more. And I guess we were in a weekly buy from here. No, right there. Let's put that in there like that. And that is cotton, and we're looking at an ETF that represents it. I hope that helped out any. Did that help out? We aim to please. There we go. Something like that. So it went into the buy, and you can see there was the buy there, and it was like disastrous, right? And then when it went into sell, where'd it go into the sell? It went into the sell there, and then the next day it got crushed. And we had a green dot 2 days in a row. So when the first one, was it there? No. I think it was that. Let me see. Let's put a big line in there. We try not to hide anything. Yeah, okay, so it went into the sell there. So you're getting your head handed to you. And then look at it, it turns back up again. But you can't get short. So you can't get short. You only can sell your long because it's a weekly buy. That's how our math works. So you don't get short in that and get trapped. And you can't sell there because so I'm gonna leave that there. No, you can't get long there. You got to get long here, I guess it is. I guess that was the first long right there. So you can be long through this mess. And you can see it's not the prettiest trades at times, but that's the ETS. We'll leave that in there for you. If you want to see it tomorrow, we'll have it here. This way we won't have to do too much discovering. Let's see, save workspace, file, save workspace as. That's the Robin. That's the Chicago quant chart. Save. Yes. Bingo. All right. There we go. If anybody else wants to look at something, just fire it out. Doc is willing to go explore anything and find anything. If we can't get it, we can get something close to it. You know, that type of thing. This is kind of interesting. Let's remove that. I used to do cottons. Robin used to write a thing on the softs all the time. For a brokerage house, he did that for years. He followed the softs all the time. So, and I used to do on Dukascopy at one time. I used to do a thing called Algo Wars, where I did a commodities index that I invented against a currency index, against the dollar index, actually, to be exact. And it was a fascinating thing. Fascinating. All right, where do we go from here? We did gold. Want to take a look at silver? Anybody care about silver? Let's take a peek at silver. There's silver there, trading at $27.97. Until someone shouts out, we will just look this way. Oh, it's trying to perk up. Look at that. It's trying to act firm here. Went into the sell yesterday. They knocked it down, and now it's trying to climb up again. Look at that. Let's widen that a little bit more. You can see we've been in the weekly buy since here. It's trying to climb. We went into the weekly buy here, caught the whole monster move. Went into the sell here. So you take your profits there. Actually, I think it was 1 day back. It was this one right there. So it was right there. And then, so you're just taking your profits, and then it gets clocked. I can't believe it. You know, at one point they reflected a 23.57 low. I don't know where they removed it. Isn't that fascinating how they remove that stuff out of the system? It's funny. I don't know what's going on with some of this trading in these brokerage houses. I mean, it's like, fake trades get into the system, stay there for hours upon hours. It is really weird. I mean, the CFTC and the Securities Exchange Commission are allowing this to go on all the time now. It's very odd. All right, so there's silver. You can see we went to a sell yesterday and it sold down, and now it's trying to lift back up again. And when it comes to not Chicago. When it comes to J4X, look at it here. You see it's riding high, holding strong, and it did the same thing. It tried to go into a sell here, but we're not getting any reds here like we did up on that there. So, but again, if you don't have Doc's work, then it's the second best thing is to go tune in on J4X and sign up with Dukascopy, and you can get these charts. You can do work on the J4X. Give yourself a fighting chance. All right. Let's see who else. Want to see crude oil? Let's see crude oil. Here's crude. I saw a headline last night. It was like inventories were a surprise, and they knocked it down. I'm thinking to myself, wow, what is it trading at 38, 39? They put up this chart, and it's very small. You barely can read it. Has a big outline showing how much the product has dropped physically, and you can just see a big red box. I'm thinking to myself, wow, did they clock that thing a couple of dollars? I go running over to the website, up to the Chicago Quant, check out the chart, and what do I see? That. It's done nothing almost. Yeah, all right, it's lower, I'll admit. The day before it closed at 43.12, and right now it's trading at 43.67, and with a high of 42.97. So it's not exactly like it's slamming it through the floor or something. And we've been in a daily buy there for a couple of days, and we've been in a weekly buy since the cows came home, all the way back 15 weeks ago. We've been in a weekly buy since was that the high 20s, low 30s, in the 29 area, something like that. What was that day? That day was 28.78 low and 33 high. So in the 29s, and it's trading at 42. It's been in a weekly move. And you can see it goes, cleanly through the time manifold. Oh, you can't see. Let's do this. You can see here it goes cleanly through the time manifold there, holding really well for a long while. Starts to plateau in here, but still not going into minus. Gets sloppy at times. They try to take it down, but it doesn't survive, and they find a way to get it back into a buy. Like here, it goes into the buy here and gives you a nice massive run, and then tells you to take your profit. Then it goes supposedly down. It goes tells you to take the profit. When you're in a weekly buy, sells really tell you to take profits. They don't tell you to get short, and vice versa. And so, in other words, if you're in a weekly sell and you get a buy signal, it tells you to take the profit on the short, but it doesn't tell you to get long. And so, you can see here it tells you to get long here. And it's pretty much gone nowhere with that. Sometimes it goes nowhere. And then out of nowhere, it takes a run. Crude, great minds think alike. Let's see, crude going to 50.55, like the speed limit over here, huh? Someday, yeah, as soon as the Trumpy gets reelected, I wouldn't be surprised. All right, so that's what we see on the Earl. Let's go check it out on J4X. As I eat my blueberries. Remember, it's breakfast time here in the States, but I've been up since 2:30 in the morning. So I've been up for 5.5 hours, over 5.5 hours, almost 6 hours now. Let's go find crude. Where are you, crude? Right there. And you can see it's going to kick out there. Oh, it's trying to do the weekly. Let's go to the daily. There we are. Before Trump is reelected, we will see 50. You think so? I think they're starting to smell his victory. It looks like the market's been. I think what they're doing is there's a Trump has tricked the Democrats again. They're trying to be abusive as usual, and Madam Speaker shut the Congress down and went home, and they needed to finish off the stimulus bill that they've been working on. And she said, "Oh, I'm gonna shut Congress down." So she shut Congress down. People don't realize how the Democrats run the House, so they can really screw things up at any given day. And so all of a sudden, Trump did executive orders and got the unemployment out to everybody. And so now there's a stimulus check coming. And so I think it's $1,200. And so for anybody that's making like, I don't know, 100 and something a year, $112,000 and less will be getting the stimulus check. So she's found out that she just, as usual, she always finds out that she's not smart. But then she always thinks that she's like the coyote and the roadrunner. She always thinks she's the coyote. She always thinks that she's going to outsmart the Trumpy. And she never does. I can't really point out anything she's done since she's been running the House of Representatives and writing the checks for the government. She hasn't done anything to outsmart them. So now she's talking about bringing the Congress back into session again. And so that means that there's going to be cashola flooding the economy. Fed printing. They don't. It's more like the Treasury. I would think. That's why I think we're seeing the cable firmer, the euro firmer. You would think that they would, sell a little dollars. You could see the interest rate market has actually risen a little bit from it. So it looks like it's going to happen. And there's no real inflation. They're not wasting any. There's no wheelbarrows of money to buy loaves of bread around here. They don't let it get out of hand. Central banks have full control over the local banks. Remember, a lot of inflation came from local banks lending poorly. So that's what the inflation of yesteryear was. It was the local banks just throwing money out the door. Now, the Federal Reserve makes it really count. They're really on top of it all the time. And how could there be an inflation when you have 15 trillion spread out? There's another text. What is this? 15 trillion spread out. Today is BC's birthday. Okay. So, I mean, how can you really have any inflation when they're on top of everything all the time? And the local banks can't just pour money out the door for fun. Just because the Federal Reserve gave them money back in the old days, they would just go lend it to their pals and create incredible inflations. They used to do this. Here was one of those inflations that is insane. It's kind of like the Michael Dell theory. The Dell computer person. I see. But how they are controlling inflation. What they do is, here's a good example of it. Back in the old days, when they had the wild inflation, look like like Zimbabwe in modern days now. They have $1 million bill. They just keep on printing money and just flooding the system. Well, they don't print money and flood the system anymore. So back in the old days when they had inflation in the States here, they did things that would increase, like they would let's say they would give a builder a loan for a sum to build, say, 100 houses or 200 houses. And they weren't sold. They would just build the houses, okay? They'd go out and they would hire people, and they would buy the land, and then they would go build 100 houses or 200 houses. And then they would, at the same time, they'd be up for sale. And they would just, if the houses didn't sell, then obviously the builders and the workers and all like that got their money, but now they don't have a job anymore because they build all those houses and no one's buying them. So it's kind of like a wasted asset. And it's sitting there and they're waiting and waiting and waiting. And that's how the savings and loan debacle happened in 78, 79, 80. right before during the Jimmy Carter years, which started the inflation thing. Because the Federal Reserve, a congressman in the House of Representatives in charge of the banking committee, Saint Germain of Rhode Island, that was his last name, raised the level of lending, guaranteed lending, guaranteed insurance on the deposits. That's what it was. And so then what happens is that your money was guaranteed for like $30,000 or $50,000, and he bumped it up to $250,000. So now $250,000 comes roaring into people's bank accounts. Companies put their money in a savings account because it's guaranteed, right? It's protected. And so they're trying to find places to park money. Now all of a sudden it's guaranteed. The banks are flush with cash. So now they got to go do something. So people come in to borrow money. They lend it to them because they've got it. And that generates incredible inflation because it's unproductive products. Now you fast forward to our era here with the central banks having control of almost everything, if not everything. And they don't allow that to go on. No one's buying tracts of land and building hundreds and hundreds of houses or building thousands and thousands and thousands of automobiles. Instead, they slow down their production, shut down lines, go on unemployment for a week. And so that's how they keep the inflation down. Now you fast forward or you rewind back to Zimbabwe in Africa under Robert Mugabe, and they just kept on printing money to the point like no controls, no central banker, just print. And that's why they have $1 million bills instead of a €100 bill. They have like $1 million that buys less than like a five euro or a £5 or a $5 bill. I think it's like $1. So a million Zimbabwe dollars is like $1 or something like that. Powell is much better chairman than Yellen. Powell. I'm trying to remember Powell. Which one was Powell? Oh, the guy there now. Yeah, I'd say so. Yellen was like, part of the blinder side of economics. Blinder from Princeton. He was the vice chair at one point, but was always blocked at becoming chair because he was just like Yellen. So Yellen was like that. I mean, she kept interest rates at 0 for 8 years for Obama. Every quarter she said she was going to raise them, and every quarter they didn't raise them, and no one ever complained in the media about how there's collusion between the Fed chair and Obama. But the moment Trump gets into office, Yellen raises rates up to like 2.5% or 2.25% from 0.25%. Matter of fact, the moment he won the election, she raised the interest rates the next month. He wasn't even sworn in yet. Obama was still president. So, yeah, I agree. And then she raised the rates all the way up to like 2.25% when Europe was paying minus. So, yeah, I agree with you. Powell, that's right. The guy's in there now. So there we go. That's pretty much the crude oil thing on the chart there. Anybody else want to see anything else? MHB, you want to see something? Just throw it out there. We'll just go find it. You want to see? Here, check this out. Natural gas. I was thinking about that this morning when I was doing the charts for Chicago Quant. Oh, where are you? There it is. Look at that thing go. There it is right there. I think we can get that on J4X too. There's gas. There we are. And you can see right here, we went into the weekly buy here. And we went into a daily buy here. We were in a weekly sell. So you couldn't be short throughout this whole move. You could be short for this a little bit, and then it jumped back into the buy here or there. And I think that's a change of contracts too at the same time, so it's not as high as it looks on the gap. And then, because I think we were doing August at that point. And then you can see it goes here and doubles into the buy signal. It actually doubles inside the buy signal. And we're in a weekly buy, and then it gives you a very clean buy signal there. So it goes from 2 to 240. Goes 40 points? No, 20 points. 20 points? Yeah, 20 points. 30 points. So that's been a pretty interesting move. We've been in a weekly sell from there, and I mean it was really sloppy for months upon months, but down, down, down it went. So let's see what else we got going on here. Anybody else see anything particular? I think we should start thinking about what we should call this today. I mean, we need to get a title for this thing too before I go running out of here with the U.S. market opening up like a banshee. Sometimes I go running out of here like a banshee. Now, where did my okay, I'm confused. Where did my Skype go? How could it disappear like that? Oh, there it is. So what should we call this today? How about it's like a technical analysis day. We were looking at J4 analysis of J4X and Doc's work. How about that? Something like that. Because that seems to be what we're looking at here. Title. Natural gas season coming is going up. Yeah. Yeah, well last year it didn't. I don't think it did. If we go back in J4X, let's see if we can go back and look. Let's put the weekly up there too. I don't think it moved anywhere near that last year. Let's see. Let's move this up. Yeah, see, it was in a downwardly projection. It did from the third quarter going into the fourth. It lifted. But by the, what was that? That was, what is that time-wise? September. There's September. Rallied into September and then just basically, oh, and the late September, is that? November. Okay, that's November. Okay, so it did. So, yeah, you're right. It did lift and then rolled. So, and it's doing it again here like that going into September. So, yeah, that was an interesting point there. Good point out. So, let's see. What do we call this title? Nat gas? How about Nat gas? Technical indicators. There we go. I gotta fix that. Natural gas. Natural. Not nautical. Natural. Oop. Natural. Let's see. Natural. There you go. Natural gas and technical indicators. There we go. That looks good. All right, traders. We will catch you tomorrow. Today's hump day. And we will see you on, oh, what's this? 4.5, I think. Wow, wouldn't that be an explosion? That would be an explosion, a double? That would be wild. I'll watch that for that. That'd be cool. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Happy trails to you. Until we meet again. Happy trails